Well, you see, I was actually down here to get my helmet, so yeah, we'll get that first. I got this new ND filter on my lens, which I'm trying out as well, so yeah. So this is my Google Pixel 3. Now, if you have been following me for a while, you might be knowing that this was the phone that I used to use. And this is the phone that I'm currently using, the Google Pixel 6a. Now, generally when a new smartphone comes out, there are two types of people. First one being the enthusiasts who want all the new bells and whistles in their smartphones. And then there is the other group of people whom you can call the normals, who don't really care what their smartphone has to offer and they just want their phone to work like a normal phone. Well, I fall somewhere in between. Let me explain. It looks like I'm gonna have to go inside because it's gonna start raining pretty soon. So prior to switching to the Google Pixel 3, I was using this, the Samsung Galaxy S8. Great phone, amazing display, decent cameras I would say, and an overall decent device. And the reason why I decided to go with that particular phone was because in 2017, this was probably the biggest innovation in the smartphone industry with the 18:9 display and curved display and everything like that. And this one still, I feel like, has a better display than my Pixel 6a, which is a phone launched in 2022, but I don't really use all those features and all the fancy things. Yes, I was an enthusiast 4 years ago, but as time has passed, I have realized certain things. So say you're buying a new phone and you ask me which phone should I buy. I would just pull this puppy out of my pocket and tell them to go for this one. Not specifically the 6a, but any Pixel device. The Pixels just don't make me think about any other phones in the market because firstly, it does pretty much all the things that I want it to do, and it excels in the key areas which I actually care about. Most important of them being the cameras and the experience. And talking about the A series like the Pixel 6a or the 7a, Google has managed to keep the price down significantly so that more people can afford it. And usually with the A series, there is only one variant, and Google makes it so easy that you literally just have to choose what color you want to buy. Trust me, if you're going with the 6a, the chalk looks stunning. So why am I such a big advocate of Google Pixel phones, you might ask? Well, you see, every time I have pulled this phone out of my pocket and tried to click a picture, it has never disappointed. And literally every single time I pull this phone out of my pocket, come on, focus. So I pull this phone out of my pocket, I double tap the power button to open up the camera, and I press on the shutter button to click a picture. If I want to fit something more, I'll just press on the wide angle lens and click the shutter button. That's it. And even though, say, you don't understand much about cameras, I'm pretty sure that every single time you pull this phone out to click a picture, you won't be disappointed. And the fun part is that none of these shots are planned. It will pretty much give you the closest representation of how the actual scene looks. And especially when it comes to human subjects, the skin tones are just on point. And this is only the part where you click pictures and later view them in the gallery. Now, the fun part is that you don't really have to look at the hardware side of Pixel phones, like the cameras especially, like how many megapixels or whatever it has, because all the magic happens in the software. And software is the second reason why I prefer using a Google Pixel phone over any other device. Now, if you have used a Google Pixel phone before, you might have an idea about what the software has to offer, like if you compare it to the competition. Google's software is not really feature packed, though with their new feature drops they are trying to add in new features, and these updates happen every 3 months. So even if you have like an older or a last generation Pixel, you can get the newer features. And this is how Google has got us hooked to their software, even though it being very plain and basic. Now, how much do I care about this or the features in my phone? Well, not that much. You see, I'm a person who uses this phone only when, say, if there is a task that needs to be done and that can be done on the phone easily, then that's pretty much when I use my phone. And as far as consuming media, say like watching YouTube videos or even movies, I prefer to do it on a bigger screen, usually on a TV or on a laptop. So I average around 2 to 2.5 hours of screen on time on my phone, which is considerably less as compared to what I have seen with other people. So usually how it goes is that my phone is pretty much lying besides me most of the time and I am in front of the laptop. That's sort of what happens usually. Now, indeed, even though if it is just lying besides me, I do use it whenever I get bored to, scroll through social media or basically set reminders. And other than that, when I'm not using my laptop, I pretty much use the phone like a normal person. Again, scrolling social media, playing some music via Bluetooth and all the other normal things. And since the standby battery on this 6A especially is pretty good, I don't even feel the need to charge my phone all the time, which is kind of a huge plus point. So why only the Google Pixel? You see, phones really don't excite me that much, and when it comes to using one, I just want something that is reliable and that can make my life easier. Obviously, there are so many different phones that come with different features that can ease up your life, but when it comes to me, there are certain things that I just don't need a machine to do for me. Now, I might switch to some different phone in the future if my work motivates it, but right now at this point in life, this pretty much gets the job done just fine, and that is why I use a Google Pixel.